Since Flick's arrival at Barcelona, the club has chosen method over myth for one of its most fragile geniuses. Pedri's gifts were never in doubt. The vision, the first touch, the uncanny timing, but his seasons were too often cracked by muscular setbacks that turned promise into worry. Hansi Flick and head fitness coach Julio Choose didn't offer a single simple fix. They rewired his environment. What followed was a bespoke conditioning program that married modern recovery science with a strict minutes philosophy, targeted strength sessions, precise recovery windows, nutrition tweaks, and a deliberate plan that treats minutes as a resource to be managed, not a prize to be hoarded. The objective was clear: keep the talent on the pitch while protecting the body that produces the talent, and the work that felt invisible in the gym began to show up in the matchday sheets. The numbers turned skeptical talk into measured belief. Journalists and match logs picked up what training notes suggested. Pedri featured in 73 of the last 74 matches for club and country, his lone absence recorded as a short illness rather than another muscular relapse. And in the most recent full campaign, he appeared in 59 of Barcelona's 60 official games. Those are not vanity statistics, they are the hard evidence of a philosophy that shifted from resting to managing. Instead of shelving a promising player at the first twinge, the staff opted to load him with minutes when safe, then withdraw him at the margins to prevent the spikes in muscular strain that used to create long-term absences. That subtle calendar of minutes, monitored, measured and adjusted, turned a pattern of interruption into a pattern of availability. On the pitch, the transformation reads in micro-habits. Pedri receives with his head already up, moves the ball into space with a confidence that suggests trust in his body, and sustains intensity deeper into matches than he used. The old footage, where a burst of brilliance was followed by a substitution, and then a spell on the treatment table, now feels like a memory. The new footage shows a midfielder who can press, regain, and then immediately recycle possession without the visible wobble that used to betray him at the first late sprint. Crucially, the choice to give him large, meaningful minutes and then take him off late, rather than benching him for long blocks, has kept his game intelligence humming while insulating his muscles from dangerous overloads. That balance between practice and protection is what turns scattered promise into dependable influence. Tactically, a dependable Pedri changes everything. Barcelona can design sequences that rely on a creative pivot, knowing that pivot is actually going to be there week after week. Pressing schemes can be more aggressive because the engine in the middle is fit enough to sustain them. Rotation becomes less of a gamble because the team no longer expects sudden absences from the player who ties phases together. For the Spanish national side, the calculus is equally simple. Availability for qualifiers, tournaments and preparation windows is a value that can win selection battles on its own. Opponents who once planned to exploit fatigue must now prepare for a midfielder who shapes the game for 60, 70, 80 minutes with the same tempering instinct that used to arrive only in flashes. The broader lesson is less about one man and more about how elite teams steward talent. Pedri's story shows that careful evidence-led conditioning can rewrite career arcs. When smart load management meets precise rehabilitation and consistent playing rhythm, availability becomes a platform for greatness rather than a liability. The immediate prize for Pedri is simple and huge. He can now be judged by what he does on the pitch rather than what he misses off it. For Barcelona, the reward is tactical continuity and the return of a midfield identity that had felt fragile. What was once an experiment in protecting a prodigy looks so far like a template. And tonight's minutes are one more line in a story that might end with a legacy finally uninterrupted by injury.